Welcome to the Ephesiology Podcast, a podcast dedicated to the study of the early Christian movement and its implications for the church today. As always, we have Michael, our resident ephesiologist, and I'm Andrew Johnson in Houston, Texas. Michael, Merry Christmas, Happy Advent.
Yes, Merry Christmas and Happy Advent.
Is that what we say? Happy Advent? I don't know. I've never greeted somebody for Advent. We're just in Advent.
Happy
Welcome to
Christmas,
Advent.
Merry Advent.
I don't know. For those who are not following this visually, Michael and I have both donned our Santa caps and are trying to physically get into the spirit. As I have told him, basically when Thanksgiving happens, that night or the next day, also known as soon as I finally get the box out and open it, I have my Santa hat on from after Thanksgiving to about Christmas. Every day I'll wear it. Megan had to actually wash the white part at the bottom because it was so yellowed and dingy. I've been doing this for, I think, like 14, 15 years at Christmas. So it kind of builds up. So Michael, yours looks clean. So well done.
Yeah, I don't like, yeah. It's maroon. On the other side, it says Texas A&M, but we're not very happy about the Aggies these days.
It's okay. Gig 'em. We are an Aggie supporting podcast here. Hopefully that doesn't make everybody turn the podcast off. But that is who we both pull for. So, yep. Michael, let's just generally speaking, what's on the calendar for y'all for the month of December? What are the plans?
Yeah, well, a couple things are coming to mind. Of course, we're entering the Christmas season. This is a favorite time of year for us as a family. And so Lori and I are really looking forward to the kids coming home. And of course, as you know, we welcomed a grandson into our family this year. And so that'll be his first Christmas. And
wow.
That'll make it all the more special. So, and even as special, we have snow already.
Oh, so jealous.
We're very excited about that, although they're talking about it warming up next week. So it might actually be gone by the time Christmas gets here. But we can always hope for a white Christmas.
Absolutely. Man, when friends and family send me those photos of the first snow, it deep in my heart, I feel that and a longing to be in the snow. I know that being in the South, everybody is jealous of those who have quote unquote better weather in the winter months. I'm just letting y'all know, if you're in the North, the snow is wonderful and the chill in the air is great. And oftentimes you have better clothing. So I like for any excuse to have to don the cardigans.
Yeah, well, we can legitimately wear flannel and sweaters. Right. Where you guys in the South, I don't know, you wear flannel and sweaters, and up here in the North,
right behind me on the ground is my Patagucci. I've got a nice little flannel, and but man, good flannel makes you sweat real fast. So the temperature does need to drop a little bit more, and by that I mean a lot more. But that's okay. Any excuse to wear Patagonia, I'm in. How
about you? What are you guys looking forward to?
We've got birthdays coming up. December is month of birthdays for my oldest daughter and myself. And and then in between birthdays and those celebrations are trying to do the choir concerts, the birthday parties, the end of year celebrations, gatherings with friends. We try to cram it all in, right? And that's not unique to anybody. I think I'm basically speaking for all of the West, right? That's typically what December looks like for everybody. I don't think we're going anywhere this year. We were toying actually visiting our friend, Father Matt Marino, and all in Florida, but I don't know if that's going to work like we planned. But
And we want to wish
Matt
him well.
brags. Yeah. I don't. We'll probably save that for off the pod. But yeah. Rumor has it St. Augustine, Florida. Not that everybody thinks, where do I want to be at Christmas? St. Augustine, Florida. But Matt says the entire town comes alive and everybody decorates, and it is one of the most magical places. And so he's been trying to convince us for years to go visit them around Christmas. So we'll see if we can. I think the likelihood on that is low, but who knows?
Yeah.
We're a little freer these days, so we can plan a little differently. So, so that's what's on our plate. Now, as far as the podcast and the ephesiology things are concerned, what are some things that we have planned or are coming up that listeners can look forward to?
Well, I think one thing that we want to be sure that we're communicating is just a thank you to those who have supported not just the podcast, but our recent scholarship drive. Over the Thanksgiving holiday leading up to Giving Tuesday, we were trying to raise money for 9 PhD scholarships. And it looks like we have 3 for certain, maybe 4 of those scholarships.
Wow.
And I'm very grateful for that. And I'm sure those students who are going to benefit from those scholarships are going to be grateful as well. So thank you all for supporting our work of trying to bring relevant and meaningful theological education in places that don't have access to it. So I'm looking forward to working with those PhD students over the course of the coming year and seeing how what we do will help to form them as well as the teaching that they'll be doing in their various places.
That is incredible. Praise God. Well, thank you all who have joined. And certainly, this is no surprise to anybody listening. We often don't stop people from giving. So if you hear that we are still short of the 9 goal that we have, please go online and masterclasses.ephesiology.com. Is it easy to click through from there to give?
To go to ephesiology.com and look at, there's a donate button on the banner, as well as some more information about the scholarship initiative.
That's great. That's great. That's clear. That's easy. So if we've got 3, almost 4, what is it going to take for us to double plus that so we can see all 9? And so please, if you're listening, jump on in. So certainly a thank you for that engagement. And beyond that, man, we have had kind of a fun year. We've had quite a few guests and people and we recorded an entire series to kind of coincide with some of our master classes. That we
did
had
2 series.
That's right. My goodness. I've slept a few times since then. Please forgive me.
Yeah, we did the Make Disciples series.
Because that wrapped at the beginning of this year.
Yeah. And then we did the Innovative Disruption series, and those were a lot of fun to have guests on and interact with them and get I think, a better understanding of things that are going on around the world. And I just love that they're just, well, at least it seems to me that there's this theme recurring in contemporary Christianity of the importance of discipleship. And I think that came out beautifully through a lot of our guests. We had Jeff Vanderstelt and Rob and Michelle Wegner. Who else did we have on that? Hirsch was with us.
And Frosty.
And Frosty, yeah. So that was a lot of fun.
Oh, and our friend Emmanuel Tusas.
Emmanuel
Athens.
was with us. It was great to see him a couple of weeks ago in Athens.
So jealous.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
So jealous.
Yeah, we had Miguel Castillo from Spain with us as well, and so great to have. Really, I thought a beautiful global voice about the importance of discipleship. People from many different countries: Spain, Greece, Australia, the U.S., Canada.
I think I I think I've said this multiple times before. I personally, again, I'm speaking on my own. I'm not making you claim your favorite child. I am saying the Make Disciples podcast series was probably my favorite thing that we have done on Ephesiology, just because of the joy of talking with all those wonderful people and getting to hear what God is both doing in and through them and their unique perspectives. It
Yeah.
shaped me. And yeah, for those who are listening, I don't know what your listening habits are. If you either, produce or do things, I often won't re-listen to a lot of our podcasts. Occasionally I will. Um, I think I've listened through the Make Disciples podcast series probably 3 times.
Wow.
I just enjoy listening to those people and their perspectives, and I will say quite humorously, a younger version of Andrew is being used by God to call to task an older version of Andrew on some of my own practices of saying, okay, I said this then, have I actually lived into that now? And I've really, really loved that podcast series.
Well, you went a step further, didn't you? Because you took a group of guys through that series.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I made sure that it wasn't just theory, but also practice. Side note, Michael and I both believe that discipleship is not just a wonderful concept to be talked about. It needs to be lived. It needs to be lived out. And healthy discipleship is multiplicative. I'm not saying it will always multiply. Thus, if you're not seeing multiplication, you're failing as a discipler or a disciple. Like, I'm not trying to give that, keep that shame on you, as I think is pretty easy to do in the West. But what I am saying is that I don't want to keep it in theory. I would like for us to both be healthy disciples who make healthy disciples. And so this past year, spring, summer, fall, I met with 3 guys, and we used the book as our tool. And we used the podcast as bonus material, because I didn't want to say, hey, please read this, spend time reflecting, spend time journaling. Oh, and by the way, there's also this extra homework assignment of listening to me talk more on the podcast. So I tried to make sure it was bonus. But I will say, when the guys listened to the podcast, their interaction with the material and what they were seeing in their own lives, it came alive. It just came alive. And they were so thankful for our guests and some of the things that people brought up, some of the things that Danielle and Bree and Michelle were bringing to the table were they were covering areas that I don't think, and Bev, I just think that they were bringing up things that weren't always talked about or always thought about, and challenging some things that maybe weren't always challenged. And what we're being challenged to is not new thought or new theory, but deeper and more faithful following of Jesus. And it was just so good. And those guys were very thankful. And actually, the funny thing is, when we were wrapping the study, it was like, okay, guys, where do we want to go next? And the answer was, this study helped highlight where I am deficient. I want to spend some more time drilling in here, both in practice and in preparation. And so it was pretty exciting.
That is.
So, yeah. So I am taking my own medicine here. It was pretty great. It was pretty great. Michael, do you have any favorite children of the podcast? Were there any favorite episodes or things that we went through?
It's for us, it's almost like giving birth every week, isn't it?
I want to apologize to all the women we just equated making a stupid little podcast to giving birth to children. We don't really mean that. It is not that laborious or difficult. So,
Yeah, this is just I look forward to this time. I mean, it's fun to spend time with you. It's fun to have guests on, and I hope that people are enjoying this as much as you and I enjoy making these podcasts. So, yeah, I am looking forward to this year as we're coming up. And this is something I just learned yesterday, and I haven't even had a chance to share it with you yet.
Oh man, breaking news.
This is breaking news. The book Ephesiology has just been translated into Spanish.
Hey,
And it's coming out in 2025 at some point, and I'm excited about that. So for Spanish speakers, if you've longed for a Spanish version of Ephesiology, that time is coming close. So I'm excited about that.
that's fantastic. Are there any certain people or groups who are going to try to take it out into the field? Any test runs?
Yeah, you know what? That's a good question. This was a surprise to me actually when I got the news. I knew they had been working on it, but didn't realize that it was going to be published in 2025. So I don't exactly know what the plan is for it. I know that there were people that had contacted me, and I put them in contact with the publisher, and so they've worked out something. So we'll see. We'll see. This is just very much at the beginning, and I know that for some, there's been some excitement that the book will be available in Spanish. So we'll see what happens.
That's very cool. If you are listening and you think you just asked, how is this going to be deployed or used, and you feel that it's you, your organization, your church, it's going to be apropos to help minister as you're continuing to minister, please reach out to Michael at ephesiology.com. Send him an email just so that he can kind of start connecting some of those dots so that once it gets published, we can start to deploy it in some pretty awesome places.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we'll put a link to the publisher with the show notes for this as well.
Awesome. Yeah. Please get at them.
Yeah.
I do believe you also have some archaeological plans for next year.
Yeah, some plans. We have a trip coming up in March, which I'm excited about. A group of, I think there are 7 of us going to Asia Minor to continue some research that we started earlier this year. And so this will be our 3rd research trip there. And yeah, looking forward to doing that. And then after that trip, I think I'll be in fairly decent shape to finish up the book that I'm working on. That's trying to look at the gap that archaeology fills as we think about early church missions. So, and I'm sure we'll do a series on this as well, because I think, yeah, I mean, it's just been very interesting to see what the material culture of the early church was like, and to think about, how did that impact the way in which missions was conducted in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd centuries. And so there'll be a lot to talk about in this regard.
Very cool. Very cool. This isn't like breaking news to the pod, but I'm totally putting you on the spot. What do you think are maybe some topics that we should probably cover next year on the podcast?
Oh, gosh. I haven't even thought that far ahead. Besides the archaeology part.
I would say you've been doing a lot of thinking there. You've spent quite a bit of time.
Yeah. So the book will be 10 chapters. So we'll do at least a 10-week series on the archaeology of the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd centuries in Asia Minor. And I can hint at that, of course. I mean, we'll be talking about what we've discovered about Luke's addressee, Theophilus. We see him in the archaeological record, and I believe in Asia Minor. At least I'm making the argument for that. We'll talk about the early church and evangelistic messages and especially give some attention to some graffiti that we're interpreting from the crypto porticos in Smyrna. Yeah, just a lot. I mean, we're going to talk about the impactfulness of the church in Laodicea after receiving the message from Jesus that he was going to vomit them out of his mouth. We're going to spend some time trying to dig into what was going on in Pergamum, where the seat of Satan was, and how that impacted the early church. So yeah, just a lot of things like that. I think that are going to be important, not only for informing the biblical text, but also to think about what does it mean for us today? How do we apply these things? And so my objective in writing this book has been to look at the way in which the archaeological record is going to help us in understanding how we should be doing missions today. So that I think at least I'll be excited about the series. I hope our listeners will be too.
That'll be great. And I know that I don't know if you have this experience, Michael, but when people are, oh, you have a podcast. Well, what is it about? Well, we're talking about that early Ephesian movement. And so people are like, okay, so what happens after that episode or two? Because, like, are you going to still keep talking about that?
It is later.
Yeah, it is that bridge, right? It's the implications for the church today. We need to be looking back, and we need to keep looking forward. Yeah. We need to see what has God done, what do we learn, and then missiologically speaking, how do we bring that to the context in which God has put us? And so there's always things to talk about. Again, looking back just a little bit, I actually really did enjoy our political series. I know that we actually said how much we were not going to enjoy that off mic. And we even did record both of us talking about how tenuous or how potentially problematic the series was going to be. So now hindsight, I loved it. And I really think the guests that we brought on and some of the topics that we covered were highly applicable to today. The implications of what we talked about have continued to grow. So I actually want to thank those Steve Besner and Caleb Campbell and Ron
Hesselgrave and
Jim. I was
Jim
like,
Baker.
I was about to say, I was like, I'm going to feel bad if I forget Jim's name, but man, those were solid. So looking to next year, I'm hoping that we do continue to say, what is God doing now, and how can we help equip the church to bring some of that missiological focus to where we are, where you are. So this is actually a little bit of a plea from our listeners. Is there a topic that actually stands out to you? Is there something that you think, man, I have been so encouraged or challenged, or I actually have disagreed vehemently, but I think that's been helpful to me personally? Is there something that you think that Michael and I can tackle this next year and spend a few episodes on, bring some guests in, maybe expand our own horizons and talk to some people that we haven't talked to yet? We would love to hear from you. Michael, what is the best place for somebody to give us feedback?
Oh, well, I think an email to the discfan@gmail.com.
Well, there it is. Place. It has been published. I'm not very clever. I am the disc fan everywhere. DISC. So if you need to find me on pretty much every platform, including Blue Sky. Michael, are you going to get on Blue Sky?
No. Oh, I just heard about that the other day.
Hey, welcome to the club. No. I've been there for quite a while. It's pretty great. Just going to say it's been pretty great. So I am on Blue Sky. Come and find me, make a friend, message me if you have found me on Blue Sky. We haven't taken Ephesiology to Blue Sky yet, but maybe we can. But anyway, please let us know. maybe some ideas or some directions that we can go. We want to continue. Michael and I have always said we want this to be a service to God's church, right? And so if you are listening and you we want to serve you. So please let us know. Michael, are there any maybe final words or encouragements that we can leave with folks? Because I don't know. Are we going to record? Are we going to air any more episodes this year?
I think this is it.
I think so.
This is we're trying to wind down a little bit. We've really, if you think about it, we haven't had a break this year. We usually take a summer break, and we didn't do that this year. And so this is a good time for Andrew and me to kind of sit back, refocus, recalibrate ourselves, and take a rest for the next couple of weeks until we get into the new year. So, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to a little hiatus, and especially enjoying some time with the family. As people start rolling in here between now and Christmas.
That's going to be great. I celebrate with you in advance for all that fun reunification with your kids and grandchild.
Yeah. My goodness. Yeah. And I think just by way of encouragement for us as we're in the Christmas time, I just keep thinking about that early church and how focused they were on Jesus being God. Yes, he became incarnate. He did come to this earth, and we're going to celebrate that. And that is a remarkable miracle. And we should always celebrate that. But let's always, at the same time, remember who he is that came into that cradle, the God of creation, the God of the universe. And he is worthy of our worship. And, you know, I'm struck by Luke's gospel and the number of hymns that are in chapters 1 and 2 that are just in praise of who he is. And so I hope that's our heart this Christmas season, that we would focus our attention on the praise of Christ, who is our God.
And I will piggyback on that, Michael. This is like, welcome to my brain or my heart. It's a slightly difficult season for me. A lot of things thinking through and praying through and wrestling with. And something that I'm coming back to is that Jesus is my hope. Jesus is my peace. Jesus is my joy. Why I'm stating it like that, and what many are going to say, yes, that's normal. That is the Christian claim. It's because so often we talk about Jesus providing hope or providing joy or providing peace, as if Jesus is just a bridge to something better. Jesus is the better. Yeah. Jesus is our hope. And so I don't need to go and access Jesus to find something else that he's like opening a door to. It's him. He's it. And if I have him, I have everything. So as a reminder to our brothers and sisters during this season, because Jesus is God, he is our hope. He is our peace. He is our joy. And so sing those Christmas carols loud and proud. Get into that Christmas spirit. Be the person that is a bringer of joy because you know Jesus, and let people see him through you.
Amen. That's a good word.
I think we'll end on that encouragement. Listeners, thank you for joining us for this podcast and all that you have joined us in this year. Please check out past episodes. If Michael and I were talking about some things and you're like, nope, didn't catch that. Nope, I have no idea what they're talking about. I promise you it's available wherever you have podcasts. Just go and check that out. As I accidentally tried to lead you to masterclasses.ephesiology.com, go and see, okay, what more can ephesiology bring to me? as I continue to grow in Christ and see how I can minister to others in my context that God has put me. And if you would like to join in on that effort to fund PhD students, please go to ephesiology.com, click that donate now button. We don't make a lot of asks on this podcast like ever. So we really do want to encourage you to join us in seeing what God is doing globally. So, well, for Michael and myself, for the last time in 2024, thank you for joining us on the Ephesiology Podcast.